Did you know one random scream at a high school game turned a kid into one of the biggest memes in the United States? It was March 2025, a regular high school basketball game somewhere in America. Crowd cheering, phones out, nothing unusual. Then the camera finds him. A blonde kid in the stands, eyes wide, face locked onto the lens. He screams, 6, 7. Nobody knew what it meant. No context, no explanation. But that second changed everything. The clip was posted by YouTuber Cam Wilder. The sound came from a track called Dude 6'7" by rapper Skrill, a Chicago drill song referencing 60th and 7th Street. TikTok picked it up instantly. Within hours, it took over. Edits, remixes, chaos. Guess my height, guess my IQ, guess my chances, 6'7". NBA fans linked it to LaMelo Ball, who was 6'7". Classrooms across the US started chanting it. Teachers had no idea what was happening. The clip hit millions of days. The kid didn't plan it. He didn't explain it, and that made it even bigger. He became the 67th kid. One moment, one screed, everywhere. And the number, it means nothing. Did you know Porsche was born from war, built in secret, and became one of the greatest car brands on earth before the 911, before the racetrack? There was just one man, Ferdinand Porsche. He wasn't a businessman. He was an engineer, obsessed with speed, balance, and precision. In the 1930s, he helped design the Volkswagen Beetle. Simple, affordable, a car for the people. But his dream was not to build for everyone, but to build something perfect. In 1948, in a small garage in Austria, his son Ferdinand Porsche took that dream and turned it into metal. They called it the Porsche 356. It used Beetle parts. It had just 40 horsepower, but it was light, fast, and it moved like nothing. People didn't just drive it. They raced it. They won with it. That first car carried the DNA of every Porsche would become a company that never chased trends. Only perfection. From a family workshop to the hills of Stuttgart, from dirt roads to Le Mans, Porsche wasn't built to impress. It was built to perform. And it all started with a father's vision and a son who refused to let it die. Did you know Dexter Morgan was a serial killer hiding in plain sight? He wore gloves, carried a badge, worked as a blood spatter analyst for the Miami Metro Police. By day, he helped solve murders. By night, he committed them. But Dexter didn't kill randomly. He had a code, a strict set of rules taught by his adoptive father, Harry. Only kill those who kill others. Only target the guilty. And most important, never get caught. On the outside, Dexter looked completely normal. He smiled. He went to work. He had a girlfriend and even cared for her kids. But inside, he felt empty. He didn't feel love or guilt, only a deep, dark need. He called it his dark passenger. At night, Dexter hunted. He studied his targets, gathered evidence, waited patiently. Then came a ritual. A room wrapped in plastic, a metal table, a single photo of the victim's crimes, one final conversation, and silence. He cleaned everything. No fingerprints, no trace. Just a drop of blood he kept as a trophy. To the world, Dexter was a hero. To his victims, a nightmare. But the more he killed, the more dangerous things became. His sister, a cop, started asking questions. Other killers got in his way. And slowly, Dexter's perfect world began to fall apart. He thought he could control it, but in the end, even Dexter couldn't escape what he really was, a serial killer. This is a true story. On May 3rd, 2007, a British family was on vacation in Praia da Luz, Portugal. They stayed at a small holiday resort. White walls, blue shutters, quiet streets. That night, Kate and Jerry McCann left their 3 children to sleep in their apartment while they had dinner at a nearby restaurant. The distance? Less than a minute's walk. Every half hour, they checked in. But around 10 p.m., Kate returned to find the bedroom window open and her 3-year-old daughter, Madeline, gone. Police searched the resort, the beaches, the streets. Dogs tracked a scent to the ocean, then nothing. Witnesses claimed they saw a man carrying a small child in pajamas that night. Others reported a suspicious van parked near the resort days before. The case spread worldwide. Posters with Madeline's face appeared in airports, train stations, and city streets. Years later, new suspects emerged. Files were reopened, but every lead ended the same way, nowhere. Some believe she was taken by someone she knew. Others say she never left the apartment alive. To this day, no one knows where Madeline is, but locals say on quiet nights, the shutters of that apartment still rattle, even when there's no wind. Did you know Enzo Ferrari never wanted to sell cars? He only sold them to fund his obsession with racing? It all started in Italy after World War I. Enzo was a mechanic, a dreamer. He didn't care about money. He only cared about winning. In 1947, he created the first car to bear his name, the 125 SV12 engine. Red paint, built for one thing, speed. Ferrari didn't chase luxury. He chased glory on the track. Le Mans, Monza, Nürburgring. He wanted to crush the competition, especially Mercedes and Maserati. But racing was fluid. Drivers died, engines exploded, and Enzo kept pushing. He became known as Il Commendatore, feared, admired, obsessed. Each car he sold was just a means to an end. More races, more innovation, more dominance. In the 1960s, Ford tried to buy Ferrari. Enzo said no, so Ford built the GT40 just to beat him at Le Mans. Ferrari lost, but the myth only grew, because a Ferrari isn't just a car, it's a bloodline, a roar, the symbol of a man who refused to slow down. Enzo Ferrari didn't build a company, he built a legacy at 9,000 RPM. Did you know Cooper was a farmer before becoming humanity's last hope among the stars? Earth was dying. Crop failures, dust storms. Humanity on the brink. Cooper, ex-astronaut turned farmer, became the only one with a real chance to save everyone. He was recruited by NASA to lead the Endurance mission through a wormhole near Saturn, searching for a new home among the stars. On the journey, Cooper and his crew landed on planets with extreme conditions. On one of them, time moved differently. 1 hour there meant 7 years on Earth. While he fought to survive in space, his daughter Murph grew up without him. Near a black hole named Gargantua, Cooper made a choice that changed everything. He sacrificed himself, diving into the unknown to gather critical data. Inside, he didn't find death. He found something else, a space beyond time, a tesseract. And from inside it, he reached Murph's past. He was her ghost all along, guiding her through gravity and memory. With the data he sent, Murph solved the equation that saved humanity. Cooper returned decades later, rescued near Saturn, having barely aged. His daughter was now old. Their time together was short, but enough. Because Cooper didn't just travel through space, he crossed dimensions and came back carrying something more powerful than science: hope. Did you know Michael Corleone was a decorated war hero before becoming the most feared mafia boss in America? He wasn't supposed to be part of the family business. He had medals from World War II, a clean image, and a future in politics. But when his father, Don Vito Corleone, was nearly assassinated, Michael made a choice that changed everything. He walked into a restaurant and walked out with 2 dead men, a drug lord, and a police captain. Then he vanished. In exile, he married a woman named Apollonia. She was killed by a car bomb meant for him. When he returned to America, he married Kay and promised her they would go legit. But the truth was already written. The transformation had begun. Michael slowly took control, silently, brutally. He ordered the murder of rival Dons and even his own brother Fredo, not out of hate, but to protect the family name. He became untouchable, cold, calm, and calculated, the perfect Don. But the crown cost him everything: his wife, his children, his soul. Because Michael Corleone didn't inherit power, he became it, and it left him completely alone. I know. Did you know John Dutton owned the largest ranch in Montana and spent his life fighting to keep it? While the world tried to take everything his family had built over generations, he faced politicians, corporations, developers, and even the government to protect every inch of land he inherited. He didn't fight for money, but for legacy, for his family name. His children grew up under pressure and silence. One was a soldier, one a lawyer, and his daughter, all fire and fury. Enemies came from all sides. But the worst battles happened inside the house. Betrayals, secrets, power plays. Every year, someone tried to take the ranch, and every time, John fought back harder. When force wasn't enough, he stepped into politics. Became governor, thought he could protect it all from inside, but that's where it ended. Shot inside his own home, betrayed by the son he tried to save. The youngest gave up the war. He sold the land for $1, giving it back to the tribe. Not out of weakness, but because he saw the truth. The fight had already taken everything that mattered. That's how the Dutton Empire died. No headlines, no glory, just a legacy buried in the soil, and a ranch that cost too much to keep. Did you know Michael Scofield wasn't a criminal? He became one to save his brother's life. Lincoln Burrows was sentenced to death for a murder he didn't commit. No one believed in his innocence, except his brother. Michael was a structural engineer. Brilliant, quiet, calculated. He studied the prison, memorized every hallway, tattooed the blueprints onto his own body. Then he robbed a bank just to get locked up with Lincoln. Inside, every second was planned. Every step mattered. He recruited allies, bribed guards, solved problems no one even saw coming. But things got massive fast. Fights, riots, betrayals, and time running out. Michael wasn't trying to escape for freedom. He was trying to rewrite fate. But saving his brother came at a cost. Friends died, enemies hunted him, and eventually he had to disappear, leaving behind the woman he loved and the wife he could have had. He broke out of more than one prison, but the one thing he never escaped was sacrifice. Because Michael Scofield didn't just break out, he gave everything so his brother could live. I know. Did you know that Neymar had one of the most natural talents football has ever seen and still never reached the top? He had it all: speed, skill, magic in his feet. A spark the world hadn't seen in years. At 17, he was already a star in Brazil. By 21, he was at Barcelona, playing alongside Messi, scoring in finals, turning defenders into statues. People said he'd be number one, the future of football, the chosen one. But something changed. Neymar looked away from the pitch, to parties, to poker, to the cameras, to the comfort. While others trained in silence, he flew to birthdays, carnival, private jets. Injuries followed, momentum faded. He still played, still scored, still lit up highlight reels, but not always when it mattered most. He never won a Ballon d'Or, never lifted a World Cup, never became the best. Some say he was unlucky, others say he lacked focus, but everyone agrees he had everything, because talent opens the door, but discipline decides who walks through it, and consistency keeps you there. Now the question remains, was Neymar the greatest player who never truly gave everything? I know